Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mummies Corner. My name is Nancy Konde, your host, and with me we have a special guest who happens to be our manager for Mummies Corner and our biggest fan. And his name is Memory Monga. Memory, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you excited to be here?
Well, yes, I am excited to be here. I mean, I definitely had to represent,
The man.
the man, Bakchimuna.
Hey,
It's
yeah.
um, it's nice to be here, and I hope that as a representative of the dads, the fathers, I hope that men will come up and just support Mommy's Corner. I feel, I always like to be in the background,
Oh,
but
yes,
then
definitely.
I feel that having this channel will definitely help reach out to the mummies and probably the parents out there.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
engage. Let's
Yes.
talk about these things.
It's important,
I mean, vintu vichinja, the world is changing. So from back then, there are certain things you couldn't talk about. But
Yeah.
right now, I feel it's very important that we help each other. We educate each other. Definitely, we have different stories.
Yes,
But
definitely.
my story definitely can, in some way, be able to help somebody out there.
It is true. And
Yeah.
society always makes it seem like men should not really be involved in the children's lives per se. So you coming on the show is actually showing that inclusivity actually, so that people can get to understand that Mummy's Corner is just not for the mummies. It also covers the daddy's part as well. What roles do they play in ensuring that the children are also benefiting from their time, as well as these other things that come with it. So, Memory, how did you feel when you first heard that you're going to be a daddy?
Well, before I answer your question, uh, yeah, you know, uh, we the fathers. In my own words, I would say we are two sides of one coin: the
Okay.
fathers and the mummies. We are one coin. I mean, I needed to contribute something, and you needed to contribute something for this little
Definitely.
being to be
Yes.
here. So definitely, one way or the other, we just have to come together, meet somewhere, and just let this beautiful being
Come to creation.
come to creation.
It's very important.
So, how did I feel?
Your first expression when you heard, you're going to be a father. We're pregnant. you know.
I was I was happy,
Yeah.
to some level, because of certain circumstances. I was happy, but then I was unprepared.
Like we all are,
Preparation?
yes.
Nah, I didn't know anything about being a dad, but I was happy, and I was looking forward to it. Let me speak as me. At that point, I was one of them dads that are particular about the sex of a child. So
Okay.
Bear comes over and say, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Huh?" I put it there. So, but then I was like, "That's my son coming.
Yeah, it has to be a son.
That's my
That's
son."
my seed. You have to definitely
You know.
determine.
So
Yeah.
I was happy. I was looking forward to it. Like the journey through the whole pregnancy issue. You have ups and downs, but I was looking forward to that particular day.
Were you emotional? Were you in a state of more like disbelief where you think, so I can also give birth to a child, so I can also do this. Did you have that?
Yeah, you see, emotional. Yes, the whole journey was emotional. I mean, there were times that I would sit and say, that moment when you are alone, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be a dad. So okay, and I would encourage myself that definitely you're gonna be a good dad. But those are the times, being the only child to some level, those are the times I wish I wish Mama was around. So, hey, to tell me to say, boy, you're gonna
You're
do
gonna
this
do
just
this.
fine.
That
You
encouragement.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite emotional. It was quite emotional. But I had people around me that would tell me, so no, boy, this is all good. This is all good. So yeah, it is.
Nice, nice. So you guys, Memory is attached to two lovely daughters. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, they are so beautiful. We've had a situation, we've had an encounter. He's actually shown us two. Is it one? The first one? Yeah, the first child. He has shown us, and she's really lovely. And we're curious to know. How your experience has been as a girl dad, because obviously you're expecting a son
A
and then
junior.
in a junior to carry your name, and now you're seeing this lovely daughter coming out to take up your name. So how has been your experience as a girl dad?
You know, I had it in my head, say, I'm going to have a son. So, and then God had his own plans, you see. So she gave birth in the early hours of the day, and so by 06, I'm going there to see this child. But then, a few months before this child was born, I stopped shaving my head. I was like, I will not shave until I see my son.
Are you serious? Oh no, I've never heard of
So
that,
I
honestly.
had no, it was just me. So I had this afro, and when I got to the hospital, I found the nurse waiting there. So, because apparently, you know how it goes in there. So somebody was calling Memory, and so they wanted to say, "Who's Memory?"
Yes.
So I get there and said, "You are Memory." I said, "Yes, I'm the father." And this nurse just looks at me and said, "God, your child really looks
It's
like
like
you."
you.
So in my heart, I'm like, "That's my boy,"
That's my boy.
you know.
I'm the man. I'm
And
the man.
they bring this child in. She was 100% like the dad.
Oh
She
wow.
had long hair, and then they just said, "You have a beautiful baby girl." I'm like,
Oh
"What?
wow.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, she's here, she's mine." But then at that point, I then realized to say, I'm just a man, okay? I'm just a man, and God is God by the end of
That's
the
true.
day.
That's
God
true.
chose what to give me, and He gave me a beautiful girl.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
And I was like, wow. Okay. So today you ask me to say, if God gives you 10 beautiful girls, what will you see? I'll say amen to that. It
Wow.
doesn't matter what child God will give.
Yes.
So that was the beginning of being a daddy to this beautiful girl. It's not been easy. Because now here we are starting. We are starting the journey, and you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I can say, I had a loving father, but he was ever busy.
Okay.
Okay. But one thing he made sure was for me to understand that he loved me.
Wow.
So I dealt on that and carried that to my child. I always made sure that I told my daughter, even when she could not understand what I'm saying, I love you.
Wow.
Just to make sure that she feels my presence. Even today,
Yes.
she's about 13 years old. Every time I call her, I need to end the call and emphasize that I love you.
Oh
And so
yes.
it's a culture that I've embedded so that no boy will come and say, I love
I
you, and the
love you.
girl
She'll
will
be
melt. And I'm the
melting.
first love.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not easy, but as fathers out there, I would say we need to be present. Our presence is needed in our children's life.
Yes.
We don't need to be
100%. Yeah.
fearsome fathers
Yeah.
whereby you get home and the kids are scampering away from the sitting room.
Yeah.
Get home and the kids, let them put a smile. Okay, let them
Yes.
know to say, this is our man. I'll tell you one thing. I can be broke at some point, but in the eyes of my daughters,
You're the
I feel
richest
like a
man.
king.
Yeah.
The way they look at me with amusement to say, this is our papa, I feel like a king
Oh wow.
because I reciprocate that love to them. I
Yes.
made sure, I'm always out sometimes, but I always make sure that they feel my presence.
Oh yes.
That's the most important thing. as fathers, with you ladies, when you're pregnant, you get to talk. No, you can do
Yes.
this, you can do this. But with
Yes.
guys, mostly, I stand to be corrected. With guys, when you say, oh, guys, my woman is pregnant, oh, congratulations, my man, it ends there.
Ends there.
We are
Yes.
never taught. It's more like a job on training.
Oh yes. Yes.
So I feel that's one reason why this channel is also important, because
Yes.
I feel we can use this platform to share. We
Share
can
your
also
information,
get
experience.
to share our experiences as
Yes.
men
Yeah.
and help each other grow in these things. It's
Definitely.
definitely a job on training,
It's a job
you
on
know.
training. Yeah.
So yeah,
And I just feel like some dads are not as supportive as they should be, or involved. They're not really involved in their children's lives. They leave it to their moms to say, she'll handle it and that's it. I mean, I feel we are in the era where men should also learn to stand up for their children. Men need to come out. They need to be involved. They need to take their children to the hospitals. Under five, if they're under five, take them for those monthly checkups. Like, you need to be as involved as anybody else, as the mother, because it's important. You need to create that bond. Like he said, there's some children that always run away from their fathers, but here, as Mom's Corner, we're trying to encourage our male folk to also be equally involved in their children's lives. It's very important.
yeah.
So, Mr. Memory, what advice, last advice you could give out to the people out there before we wrap up?
It's an amazing thing to be a father, regardless of what situation
Yes.
the bundle of joy comes into. But as fathers, I would just call out to my fellow men to say, let's be there to start with. Let's be there for our women when they are up.
Yes.
Okay?
Valid
When they are
point.
pregnant,
Check.
let's be there. Let's make sure everything is in place.
Yes.
And when the child comes, let us be there for the child.
Yes.
Just a quick one. There were times the girl could not sleep. I would literally get this girl, put her on my chest. She would sleep the whole night,
Oh,
and the
wow.
mother would rest. So let's be there. Let the kid know. Let your child know that daddy is there. Daddy has my back. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't always be about gifts and money, but presence really
Presence
matters. And
carries more
as we do that, there's a space for the child and there's space for the mother. Let's carry this thing as head of the family. Let's carry our family along and let them just know that we got them. I mean, we're the men.
You're the man. Thank you so much, Memory, for coming through. Guys, you've heard it all. Here's our male representative speaking to the men out there, encouraging them to be the best fathers that they can be to their children. And I'm sure it has been very insightful. I find it very insightful. And please, if you find it equally insightful, please don't forget to like, share, and
And
of course subscribe
subscribe.
to our channel, because this will help us to reach to the masses that need to learn certain things that people don't get to share occasionally. So from Mr. Monga and I, we're saying our goodbyes. It's
Bye
bye.
bye.